Before students start the independent practice, I model one more problem for them, number 3, in the independent practice before they finish the rest of the problems to show two lines that are intersecting at one point and not just the special cases. And so I'm going to eliminate the y column in this problem, so we're going to multiply through. We talked about we're already on step 2, they're already lined up in standard form, and so step 2 is to create opposites. And I'm going to do that with multiplying through by -1. And so we're going to do that in the top equation. And when I multiply through by that -1, that's going to be a -8x minus y equals a +16. Step 3 is to find the sum of the two equations, or add the two equations together. And so then we're going to have -11x, the y's went to 0, equals 11, and therefore x equals -1. And if we get an x, we must get a y, because that means these two lines are intersecting, and we have to represent the point that's the solution to the system. And so we're going to substitute back into the top equation. So we have 8, and you can substitute into any of the equations for elimination. We're going to substitute -1 for x and solve for y now. Well, if x is equal to -1, then you get -8 plus y equals -16. You're going to add 8 to both sides, and so y is equal to -8. Therefore, the solution to this system of equations is going to be -1. They're going to intersect at -1, -8. And then you can plug it back in and check. So the fourth step was that we actually solved for x right there. And then the fifth one was to do that substitution. So there was step 5 right there. And students are encouraged to write this in their own words. I don't go word for word by what I wrote. I just wrote down the steps to guide lower level students, as long as they understand what steps that they're following, because some of the steps are hard for them to remember this many for some of the lower level students. And then 6 is to, and it just gives them extra practice. 6 is to check and plug it back into both of them to make sure it's true. If I plug -1 in for x, I get, we already checked that one, it should have came out to -8. If I plug -1 into x into the second equation, you get +3 plus -8, which is also equal to -5. So both of those check, and you can work it out on paper and show them, or on the board and show them that they actually work. And so it intersects at, these two lines intersect at -1, -8.